welcome to London's Leicester Square for this, the UK premiere of Oppenheimer. I'm Alex Zane.
Hi, I'm Reese Feldman. We are here as Christopher Nolan will be showing Oppenheimer his most ambitious project to date, bringing the thrilling story of J. Robert Oppenheimer to the biggest screen humanly possible.
The biggest screen. Now, while some of you may know this already, I'm just going to remind the rest of us that while we stand here in London's Leicester Square, across the other side of the planet in Los Angeles, SAG and AFTRA, the unions of actors in America, are currently voting as to whether to take strike action. So, I'm telling you this because the results of that vote may happen during this premiere, which could affect proceedings tonight. I will keep you informed just as soon as we know more. But to use the age-old adage, the show must go on, and tonight we are joined on our carpet by some incredible people. We are going to be joined by director Christopher Nolan, his producing partner Emma Thompson, and one of the most star-studded casts I've ever had the pleasure of announcing here in London's Leicester Square, including Rami Malek.
We also have Kenneth Branagh.
Josh Hartnett will be joining us.
Wait for it. Florence Pugh.
Mr. Robert Downey Jr. is going to be here.
Of course, Matt Damon.
The wonderful Emily Blunt, and of course the man playing J. Robert Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy, is going to be here as well. Reese, are you excited?
I'm very excited. I think excited is an understatement. Yeah, no, like some of my favorite actors and actresses are in this movie, so I'm like actually genuinely excited to meet some of them for the first time, which reminds me I'm going to head to the front of the carpet.
Okay,
so
okay.
I can meet them.
You head down there to meet the cast and filmmakers as they arrive. For the rest of us, let's remind ourselves a little about the thrilling movie that is Oppenheimer.
Detonator charged.
This is arguably the most important story of our time.
The stakes really couldn't be any higher.
It's profound, but it's told in a very human way.
Everything Chris Nolan has done has been a prelude to this.
This is not a film, this is an experience. It is a heart-in-your-mouth thriller.
Oppenheimer's story is just one of the greatest stories that there is. The fact that they were dealing with the possibility that when they triggered that first atomic bomb, they would destroy the entire planet. And yet, they pushed that button. I wanted to take the audience into that extraordinary moment in human history.
All America's industrial might and scientific innovation connected here. Secret laboratory.
Cillian playing Oppenheimer was the centerpiece of the film, but I knew that he was going to need the most extraordinary ensemble around him.
Let's go recruit some scientists.
The world that Oppenheimer inhabits is filled with rock star scientists. And I think because we have all these fantastic actors, you really buy that.
It felt like I was playing sports with some of the best athletes. Every single person has come to set knowing that they have been hired because Chris thought that you did a good job. And this goes for crew as well.
Action!
My preference is to always do things in camera as much as possible. It sets a big challenge for every department to actually bring the reality of a thing there for the actors.
When you do Chris's movies, things that when you read a script you normally would think would be visual effects, you know that you're going to be doing this stuff practically.
It's kind of back to the old days.
Every film I've done with Chris, I've never done any green screen work. It's always been real.
The sets were built in such a way that they felt incredibly authentic.
We built our Los Alamos at Ghost Ranch, New Mexico. We want it to feel like you are right there, you are in this. This isn't a backlot.
Walking on Ruth's set, that's where I really felt this is what they would have seen.
It's just the most transporting thing, you know, when you're there and it just looks exactly like Los Alamos 1940s must have looked.
We shot in a huge amount of the real locations. We shot in Oppenheimer's house, in Los Alamos. We shot in Princeton.
Shooting those scenes, playing the characters who really had versions of these events happen there, you just get a real charge out of it, you know?
It really speaks to Chris and the way he directs.
All of the energy goes around the camera.
Chris makes films for theaters, for movie-going audiences. You know, so you want to see that as it's designed to be seen.
Do yourself a favor and go see this on as big a screen as you can.
With the sound design and the score and the emotionality of it, this is an unforgettable, unmissable experience in a theater.
You are the men who gave them the power to destroy themselves.
We made Oppenheimer on the largest scale possible because the idea is to come and experience this. His story is monumental and epic and extraordinary. It really has to be seen on the big screen to be believed.
There's my boy. What's up, Feldman? Nice to see you, man. You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, we're all good? Oh, okay. First off, you look wonderful. I love the glasses.
I feel wonderful. By the way, you cleaned up nice, brother. Yeah.
I want to say you look absolutely wonderful.
Well, you know, it's, you know, you got a London premiere. You have this such a special film in Oppenheimer, as you know, and I'm just delighted to be first out of the gate. What's up, yo?
You know, thank you so much for coming. I know you just came from Paris, so I kind of just wanted to hear your thoughts now, being in London, getting to show, like, the film, which just showed with rave reviews to audiences for the first time, what you're expecting here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. Look, I mean, you know, to be here in the UK, so much of my career, whether it was, you know, Chaplin or being here with the big Marvel movies, but this is the trifecta. This is, everyone's right, and you and I have seen it, so we know, but this is just a spectacular film, and I think people are in for a great surprise.
No, it's wonderful. And the film is a spectacle. It's beautifully shot. It's grand. And, like, going off of that, I kind of wanted to know why you think this movie in particular is so important to see on such a big screen.
Well, I mean, everything about it was executed to be able to see it on the biggest possible screen. The very format of the film, 65mm IMAX. I mean, it's like Nolan has been saying, it's like 3D without the glasses. So, yeah, you got to.
Gotcha. I mean, thank you so much for coming. This is such a pleasure to chat with you.
I mean, I think you still got it. Uh-oh, I just became irrelevant. I see Florence Pugh.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's go. Let's hear it.
I am now joined here with Florence Pugh.
Hi.
But this is so exciting. I've been very excited, very, very much waiting to meet you.
Thank you.
Yes, I just think you're wonderful. You're a great actress.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, also you're wonderful in this film. I was lucky enough to see it last week. Have
you processed it yet?
It took me a minute to really it's a lot of movie and it's grand.
I was allowed 5 seconds towards the end of the role that then Christopher Nolan came in the room and said, what do you think about it? And I was like, I can't process this now.
No, I needed like 2 to 3 business days to really wrap my head around it.
Amazing.
Well, this is your home. I wanted to know what it feels like showing it in the UK, what it feels like being here right now.
Truly, like, amazing. And this movie, to me, has been one of those epic moments that I know I feel very, very privileged to be a part of, and I know that something like this doesn't happen. And I wasn't expecting it, and for it to have happened, and now I get to support it and be here, and also be here for like all the cast and crew that made this movie as well. Is a really wonderful feeling. This was truly an epic experience to make and to watch, and I feel very lucky to be a part of it, and feel very lucky to be proud of it.
Oh, I love that. And we're lucky to have you here. Also, it shows in the movie, like from the production design to literally every single part of the movie feels so thoughtful. And one guy in particular, Christopher Nolan, you could just tell he puts his all into every movie. And I kind of wanted to know what it was like working with him in that process.
Well, your point of everything felt so thoughtful, that is him. He knows every aspect of the day. He knows what time people should be arriving. He knows what job everybody should be doing. He's cast everybody for the reasons of that he thinks that you are what I need, you are going to be there, you are going to do the thing that I've hired you for. And so the energy that you have on set is that everybody is as equal as each other, and you are simply there to prove that the reason why you got hired was the right reason. And you can just imagine the energy of that between crew and cast and transpo and unit base. Like, it was truly, truly an epic experience.
The man doesn't make mistakes.
No, clearly not. He's a clever bunny.
Thank you so much for stopping
Thank
by.
you.
Congrats on
Lovely
the
to chat to
evening.
you.
Lovely chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With matching hair.
I know, I love it. Also, hello.
Maybe a little umbrella, maybe.
Gotcha. We are right now here with Emily Blunt. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Very overwhelmed. This is a very big premiere.
I know. We haven't even seen the beginnings of it.
No.
It's cool.
There's a lot inside.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. You're going to have a great time. I'm very happy to be here, though.
Me too.
I'm also very happy to be here, specifically in London. What is it like being back?
It's the best. I have my mum and my brother and his girlfriend coming tonight. Some of my family couldn't come, but I'm just thrilled that my mum is going to see this film tonight that we're so stunned by. I'm excited.
That's absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for stopping by. I know you have to make your way down the carpet.
No problem, yeah.
But this is wonderful.
Your hair looks fabulous.
Thank you so much. As does
what
yours.
happens in the rain?
The rain, it'll get...
Does it grow?
It's like the Grinch's heart, two
Oh,
sizes. Yeah. Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Of course.
You're wonderful in the
Have a good
film.
night. Thank you so much. Have a good
Congrats.
one.
Gotcha. I'm right now here with J. Robert Oppenheimer himself, Mr. Cillian Murphy.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Okay, how are you?
Good. I wanted to know, this movie, an absolute spectacle. I've had the pleasure of seeing it now twice, once more since we've spoken. I wanted to get your take on why it's so important to see this on the biggest screen possible.
Well, you know, that's what it's been designed for. That's how Chris presents his films, and it's less like a movie and more like an experience, really. Chris describes it as 3D without the glasses.
Yeah, it is the most immersive thing I've ever seen. And you were absolutely wonderful in it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, an amazing career, but it's just one of my favorites
Thank
of
you.
yours.
Thank
Yeah, I know you have to make your way down the carpet, but thank you so much for stopping
nice
by.
to see you, man.
Yeah, this was great.
Have a good evening.
You too. Congrats. Thank you. I am now standing here with Mr. Matt Damon.
Hey, Reese, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. No complaints. A little overwhelmed, but very happy.
This is a big one.
Yeah. I know we have a long carpet to go, so I'll only keep you for one question.
Okay.
But I wanted to know what it was like working with Mr. Nolan, the process of working with him. I envy. It seems wonderful.
Yeah, it is to be envied. It was absolutely great. I just love it so much. I've been lucky enough to work with him twice now. If that's it for me, then I still feel pretty blessed. But hopefully he'll call again. He just creates the best atmosphere. It's why the performances in his movies are always so good. He just creates a great environment for his actors. He loves actors, and he really understands what we do, and he understands a lot about a lot. That's why he's such a great director.
Oh, I gotcha. He's wonderful. You're wonderful in this movie. Also wonderful in Interstellar.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate
it was great seeing you.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
All right, have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I am now here with Mr. Kenneth Branagh. How are you doing here tonight?
Very well. Good to see you, Reese.
Good to see you as well. I wanted to ask you, as a frequent collaborator with Mr. Nolan, what it's like working with him, and what in specific is different about working with him on Oppenheimer.
He's a visionary, there's no question. He has an incredible work ethic, so he's always there before anybody else, last one to leave. He has relentless energy and ideas, and even though he takes on these massive projects, none more bigger than this, he creates the illusion, the actual fact of when you're in the middle of it, feeling as though you have enough time and that the care and concern for what you're trying to do is something he really prioritizes. So, frankly, I think he manipulates time.
He messes with temporality. He knows what he's doing. I don't understand how, but I love it. Also, I love all of your work.
Thank you very
When
much.
you are in this, I freaked out. Thank you so much for stopping by.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Have fun tonight.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined now by the incredible Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, I love seeing myself on a Jumbotron. Thank you very much.
It's wonderful to see you here in London. Have you enjoyed your walk down the carpet so far? Everyone's so excited about this.
Incredible. And by the way, London in general right now, isn't it just on fire? The streets are just going. It's summertime. We got the Oppenheimer premiere. What could be better?
Yeah, it's an incredible night for an incredible movie. So tell me, let me take you back to the start when you first get the call. Christopher Nolan, he wants you to be in his latest movie. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I tried to be as dry and British as he is. I just can't pull it off. I read the script. I was absolutely mind blown. And he looked at me and he goes, "So, will you do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." I cannot wait till people actually start getting to experience this in theaters, to be here and doing this premiere in the UK. I mean, look at this. Look at all these folks here. God bless you. Love you. This film has the cast of Ben-Hur. I'm just going to flat out say it. This is the best film I have ever been in, and I cannot wait for y'all to get to experience it with Cillian Murphy as our Oppenheimer.
That's incredible, and it is a wonderful movie. What can people expect? All our audience here tonight, when they finally get to see this movie, what's in store for them?
Well, the funny thing is, no matter what your expectations are or what you might think, oh, it's this thing and it's kind of about this period in time, and oh, I guess it's about the atomic bomb or the Trinity test, this transcends that and is just such an immersive experience. This is what a summer blockbuster when I was growing up used to be, where you were you kind of like changed your life. But again, it's why Chris Nolan is who he is. The guy is a super genius.
You are incredible in this incredible film. Robert Downey Jr.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I didn't hear you. One more.
He is. He's absolutely incredible.
All right, I'm sorry.
movie.
I thought my mic went out for a second. God bless you all. Love you, UK.
Let's hear it for Robert Downey Jr.
Right now, I'm standing with Josh Hartnett. Welcome.
Good to see you, Reese.
Good to see you as well. We were just chatting a little bit. I kind of wanted to know what it was like working with Nolan, but also what it was like when you got that call when you found out you'd be in Oppenheimer.
Well, being able to work with Chris has been kind of a lifelong dream for me since I met him probably 20 years ago, a little over 20 years ago.
And to be called up to do this, a film that I think is really important and it has filled with so many great actors. And as you just saw, Robert Downey Jr. is like the ultimate hype man for any film. He's doing a fantastic job up there. And we have so many great actors in it, and just to be a part of this crew is fantastic. And the fact that Chris is like, he's a modern sort of magic maker of cinema. He doesn't require any special effects, and he kind of just does everything within the camera. It's to me very exciting to be a part of something like that, which I think is rarer and rarer these days.
Yeah, and you're absolutely wonderful in the film. The back and forth with you and Cillian throughout, great stuff. Like
Thank
truly,
you.
As a fan of movies, it's just a pleasure getting to watch.
Thank you very much, Reese.
It's a long carpet, so I know they're going to want to send you on your way. But thank you so much for
All right.
stopping by.
Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you as well.
See you.
Taking the role of J. Robert Oppenheimer in Oppenheimer, it's Cillian Murphy!
How's it going?
How are you this evening here in London?
I'm very happy to be here.
It's wonderful to have you here.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. So, just to take you back to the moment that Christopher Nolan approaches you and goes, I'd like you to take the role of J. Robert Oppenheimer in this movie. How do you react in that moment?
I mean, with shock, honestly, at the beginning. I've worked with Chris a long time, and we're good pals, and we've had a good working relationship. And I always wanted to play a big part for him. And then he called me out of the blue, like he likes to do. Doesn't even have a cell phone. It was Emma that called me. So yeah, and then I just got to work.
And when you read the script, what was your reaction? When you read the script for the first time, he gives you the script, you see the part. What's that like?
I thought it was one of the best things I'd ever read. You know, it was an extraordinary piece of writing. He'd written it in the first person as well, which I'd never encountered before in the script. So I knew that it'd be a very subjective experience for the audience. So I knew I had a lot of work to do.
And in terms of your working relationship, like you said, this is the 6th time you and Christopher Nolan have worked together. What is so special about that working relationship with him?
I think recollaboration always breeds, trust, and it breeds a shorthand, and you can go directly to the work, and we have a great respect for each other, and it's just all about the work.
And in terms of this movie in particular, how did it compare to other experiences of Christopher Nolan's sets? Because we've heard a lot about the practical work he does in camera. What was special about that on Oppenheimer?
I mean, it's always been, I've never done any green screen work for Chris. It's always been, on the side of a mountain or on a boat in Dunkirk or whatever it is. And it puts you in the shoes of the characters, so you experience what they would be experiencing in a really visceral way. Like we shot in Oppenheimer's real home in Los Alamos. We shot in Einstein's office in Princeton. So you feel the energy vibrating from the walls.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And in terms of what audiences can expect from this experience, because I've watched it, it's a stunning movie. It leaves you with questions. What are you hoping people walk out of Oppenheimer with?
I think, it's more an experience than a movie. Chris always describes it as 3D without the glasses if you watch it in IMAX, which everyone should. And it's just thrilling, entertaining, amazing, challenging piece of work.
And it's so immersive, isn't it? Like 3 hours fly by in this movie.
Yes, and you got all these incredible actors, the best actors in the world. Working alongside those guys was just mind-blowing for me.
Well, it's an incredible performance you give in the movie,
Bob.
Cillian. Lovely. Thank you for stopping by. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Cillian Murphy!
Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined now by the incredible Mr. Matt Damon! Matt, lovely to see you here in London. How is it? How is it walking the carpet tonight for Oppenheimer?
It's so good. It's
well,
I'll give you this one. I'll tell you, it's great. it's great. It's great. You can feel how big this one is. It's very, very cool.
Now, tell me a little bit about... we'll share this microphone. Thanks, you were interviewing me then. So, let me get you a... There you go, back in the game. So, that would have been terrible had that happened at the Trinity test. Broken things.
Yeah, that would have been really bad.
Tell me a little bit about how Christopher Nolan approached you for this role. How did it happen, and what was your reaction?
Yeah, well, with Chris, he just... I think I send him a text every week that basically says, still available. And I had done Interstellar almost 10 years ago, and which was a great experience. And then he did 2 more movies, and I was on ice for a few movies and never got the call. And then out of the blue, he called, and that's a great day when you get a call from Chris Nolan. For sure.
I bet. It's an immediate yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And in terms of walking on to a Christopher Nolan set, what is the atmosphere like? How does it compare? Is there something special in the air when you're on a set of a Christopher Nolan movie?
Well, yeah, what's cool is everybody, nobody says it, but everybody feels really lucky to be there, like in every department. And you kind of give each other a knowing look, like this is the place and we're at it. But actually what he does, he really well, is he kind of creates almost a casual environment so that everybody feels comfortable. Like he's just very accessible and very, very easy to work with, and I think that's why the performances are always good in his movies.
Yours included in that, a fantastic performance. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the brilliant Mr. Matt Damon!
Hello, I am now here with Mr. Christopher Nolan and Miss Emma Thomas. Sorry. How's it going?
Great. Very exciting to be here.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is it like to be in London? What's it like to be here showing your movie in your home?
I mean, there's nothing like a London premiere. It's so exciting for us to come back and, have a British audience be amongst the first to see our film.
Yeah, I mean, now that like reviews are starting to come out, people are absolutely obsessed with this movie. For the people that are still yet to buy their tickets, which I don't understand why they don't have them yet. For the people watching, what do you think is the draw to this movie? What do you want people to get out of this film?
I'm going to let you take this one.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think that what I love about all of Chris's movies, and this one in particular, is that it really transports people into a character's head, into a story that they haven't seen before. And I'm really excited for people to experience the world of Oppenheimer.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the deepest of character studies that I've ever seen. It's a wonderful film. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. This is a pleasure to chat with you both again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the wonderful Florence Pugh! It's
Hello.
Lovely to see you here, Florence. How has your walk been down our carpet this evening?
Oh, it's so wonderful to hear all of your voices. Genuinely, really, really lovely. Thank you for all of your love. Thank you.
There really is a palpable excitement about this movie. How was the experience of joining the cast when you first got the call to be in Oppenheimer?
I think if Chris Nolan at any point in your life calls you, you'll happily pay for your own train ticket, plane ticket, to go and be on whatever movie it is that he says to be on. However, on this one, I felt unbelievably lucky to be with the cast, and also when I was on set working with that level of crew and that level of respect and that level of hard-working ethic was completely down to Chris, and I felt like I was a part of something so special, and not really even being in every single day. It was amazing. It was a thrilling experience.
I mean, this seems to be a thing where the atmosphere on the set seems to be so conducive, as we see in the movie, to bringing out just these wonderful performances from everyone. Talk us through the process. Do you rehearse before, or are you straight in? What was it like?
Well, the shoot went on for a long, long time, and I was only privy to maybe a month of it. And even in the month that I saw, the set that Chris gives to people is egoless. It's you've been hired for the reasons of you, and he wants you there because of all the reasons why he got you, and it's your opportunity to show him why that decision was correct. And so you have this unbelievable respect for everyone there, and everyone there knows that they have one thing, which is to basically do a great job. And it's rare to even, it's funny to say that, but it's rare that you have that, and it just gives that intense, wonderful energy of wanting to do well by the director that hired you.
There are some truly memorable and powerful scenes that you share with Cillian Murphy playing J. Robert Oppenheimer. How was it working so closely with him on this film?
I have been desperate to meet him for years. We've had many mutual friends that have also been surprised that we'd never met. And then finally when we met, we were like, finally! It's taken so long to work with him. You know, these are all of the cast that I was able to whether meet on the carpet tonight or meet when I was filming, are people that I've grown up watching. They are my idols, like my literal idols. To get to play with them was just the biggest gift that I could have been given, and especially Cillian. You know, there are intense scenes, there are very intimate scenes, and you can only do that truly and honestly with someone that you, respect, love, and truly admire. And I did all of those things, and I think he did to me too. So it was really, really easy, actually, considering the content that we were shooting.
Right. And I have to say, having seen the movie, I don't think I've quite recovered from it yet in terms of...
You won't. It's like a year.
You leave with so many questions. It really has an impact on you. Tell me about what you would like audiences to take from their experience of watching Oppenheimer.
Cillian got asked this question yesterday, and he said a really great answer, which was that he watched the premiere in Paris, and when it finished, no one moved. And everybody waited for the credits to roll, and everybody took in everybody's names on the credits, and no one moved. And then amongst themselves, they started talking. I think that is the thing that any actor, any crew member, any director, when watching a piece of their art, they hope the audience will do, will just sit and process and discuss. And I think that's all that we can hope for.
Well, congratulations on your performance. Congratulations on the movie in general. Ladies and gentlemen, the brilliant Florence Pugh!
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Lovely to see you again.
What happens when the body's gone? Does the soul live on? And I
I'm now here with the composer of the film, Ludwig Göransson. Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to ask you, what was it like, I guess, working with Nolan, crafting such an iconic theme and score for this movie?
Yeah, it was quite a challenge to work on this movie because it's something I'd never done before, writing music that really is coming from Oppenheimer's point of view. The music needs to feel like him. You need to feel like it's coming from his point of view. So you're channeling all of his emotions, and he's a pretty complex character. So there's a lot of music in there that you need to have a lot of feelings.
No, it definitely communicates through the music. It's a genuinely wonderful score. Thank you so much for stopping by. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Thanks for
also
having
a
me.
very big fan of your work. Congrats on the recent Oscar.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm joined now by the brilliant Josh Hartnett. Josh, hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic. This is a great outing. I'm so excited by this. Look at this thing.
It's crazy, huh?
It's an enormous event. I'm very excited. Of course it would be. But,
All right, a big premiere for a big movie.
Yes.
What was it like for you becoming part of Oppenheimer? How did you first get the call?
I got a call basically saying, we'd like you to read a script, and you don't have to say yes, but we're probably not going to send you the script if you don't say yes right now. So I think I was signed on before I even read the script. But I loved, I love every minute of the script. I love the other actors that I was able to work with. They're all fantastic, and they're mostly here tonight. It's hard to follow someone like Robert, who's just an ultimate hype man for a film. I feel like I got to get like some bass out. No, but I can't say how pleased I am to be a part of this in a small way, and just be, in a Chris Nolan film with these fabulous actors, and having it be opening in such an auspicious time to talk about this issue, one of the issues that this has to deal with.
Oh, well, let's talk about that. What are you hoping people walk away from Oppenheimer thinking about, mulling?
Right.
What's the overriding feeling you'd like people to take from this experience?
I can tell you what I took from it.
Yeah.
After seeing the film, I had this kind of intense feeling of how important it is to have oversight in all technologies, and how precarious new technologies are when they're first being introduced to governments, and it could send the world spinning in many different directions. And this film deals with that, I think, very intensely and very purposefully, and having to do with atomic weapons, but it could be applied to AI, or it could be applied to anything else that could be world-changing as well. And I felt that immediately and strongly when I walked out of the film.
Your performance is particularly impressive in this movie,
Thank you.
in a sea of wonderful performances. But tell me what it is like for you. What's it like stepping on to a Christopher Nolan set on a daily basis?
Well, I had an easy job because I played Ernest Lawrence, who was a much larger guy than I am. So whereas Cillian had to lose like half of his weight over the course of a few months, I got to gain a bunch of weight, which is very, very easy. So that part, very exciting. And then just being on a Chris Nolan film set, which is so immersive and so exactly what you'd want from a film, where you don't have a bunch of CGI to kind of, a lot of imagining to do. You're just there with the actors on a set that looks like the set. You're just fully immersed in that time and place. And it just makes everything so much easier.
It is immersive. I mean, I saw it on an IMAX screen, and first of all, 3 hours fly by, and also you are just completely engrossed in this story.
Yes, good. Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad you were engrossed. So was I. I was engrossed when I read it, and I was engrossed when I saw it again, which is remarkable if a filmmaker can pull that off. So you know what's going to happen, but the way that he puts it together is, I think it's typical of Nolan to do something that's a little bit unusual with the material itself. So it's not exactly straight biopic, but it has something else to it that's signature, and that kept me on the edge of my seat.
You mentioned Cillian's performance. How was it working alongside him? Because it's a stunning performance.
Yeah, no, Cillian's master, and we're so lucky to have him in this role. I mean, I say we, but I think everybody who goes and sees the film will kind of feel the same way, because I don't think anybody else could have pulled it off in the same way. Yeah. It's very exciting to watch, and exciting to kind of watch on set, and be awed by.
Well, like I said before, a wonderful performance from yourself in this movie.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for the brilliant Josh Hartnett.
Thank you.
I'm joined now by the wonderful Emily Blunt. Emily,
Hello.
London, the London premiere.
The London premiere.
Are you excited?
Yeah, very, very. Yeah. So I'm very excited for my mum to see this film.
Oh, she's here.
Yeah,
she's
coming.
First time tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
For
wow.
sure.
So tell me a little bit about getting involved in this movie. When did you get the call? What was your reaction to getting the call? Did you read the script first?
No. I mean, if you get the call, you sort of run to the meeting, and it's a yes. It's a yes to whatever the scene is or the moment is that he wants you for.
And the character that you play, Kitty Oppenheimer, what was the appeal of that character particularly?
I mean, she was just like wildfire. She was so exciting, complicated, kind of a force, you know, not terribly warm and fuzzy. But who wants to play that, you know? So.
And you share some wonderful scenes with Cillian Murphy. What was it like working with him on this movie?
Well, we worked together on Quiet Place too, so we were sort of old pals, which was amazing because we kind of played this tumultuous marriage together, and it's all the more effortless if you know the person and if you're comfortable with the person. I just adore him.
And in terms of, I mean, obviously you've been on many movie sets. What's special about a Christopher Nolan movie set? Is there something in the air? Is there something about it that feels different?
I feel like there's no chaos on his sets. Like it's calm. It's really immersive. It's very transporting. He's so English that he's like, you know, it's not like anyone walks around declaring you're making an important movie. The scenes just sort of materialize, and it happens in this way where he's like, right, happy? You're going to shoot a scene now? Okay, yeah, ready? Okay, ready? And it's just, it's wonderful because it just feels really just easy.
I'm imagining you've seen it on a fairly big screen
Yes.
already, but for those people who are going to see this when it comes out on the 21st of July, what is so important about seeing this on a big screen?
I mean, you just have to go to the biggest screen you can find. That's what Chris Nolan sweat bullets for. He made it for the audience and for it to be a full kidnap. It's like, from the sound design to the immensity of the film, it wraps its arms around you and pulls you right inside of it. And it's just, go see it on IMAX, please. It's worth it.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Emily, it's so nice to see you here in London, and congratulations on your performance in the movie. You are absolutely brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the wonderful Emily Blunt.
Thank you.
I'm joined now by the man responsible for bringing this movie to the big screen. It is the incredible Christopher Nolan!
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful to see you here in London. Are you excited about having the movie premiere here tonight, particularly?
It's incredible to be back in Leicester Square. For me, always, you know, the home of movies. You know, I grew up in London, and obviously coming here to watch movies is, you know, a set of very special memories for me. So to be here premiering the film on the big screen here, it's very exciting.
Let me take you back then to the beginning. What first piqued your interest in telling the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer?
Well, I'd grown up at a time, in the United Kingdom in the 80s when I was a teenager. There was a lot of fear and concern about nuclear weapons, and Oppenheimer's name came into those conversations. I think the first time I remember hearing the name was in Sting's song Russians, which came out in 85, I think. It talks about Oppenheimer's deadly toys. So I've been aware of the name, for some time, and over the years found out more and more about him and realized Oppenheimer's story is one of the most exciting stories, dramatic stories I've ever encountered.
And in terms of assembling the cast, because as has been said before, this is such an incredible lineup of talented, award-winning, Oscar-winning, Oscar-nominated actors. And what was it about this particular film that made you want to cast those people in these roles?
I mean, I just want to work with my idols. I want to work with people like, looking at Matt Damon over there, who I worked with, briefly on Interstellar, but I wanted to do something more with him. And casting General Groves, it just seemed the perfect thing. Cillian Murphy's at the heart of the film. He has to carry everybody through Oppenheimer's experience. And once he signed up, and I've known Cillian for 20 years, it's our 6th movie together, the first where he gets to play the lead. But him having come on board, we were able to just surround him with this incredible cast to bring these real-life people to life and go through this incredibly dramatic set of events with them.
I mean, obviously, you cast him in the role of Oppenheimer. How impressed are you with the performance he has delivered in your movie?
He did all right. He did all right. No, I mean, for me, every day on set was a pleasure because he's wonderful to work with, incredibly professional, and he was clearly doing very good work. But it wasn't until I got in the edit suite and started to put it all together that you see the magnitude of what he's accomplished. It's an incredible performance, and I think people are going to be absolutely blown away by it.
And obviously, you are well known for your in-camera effects, building practical sets. How important was that, particularly on this movie, to help your cast with their performances?
I think anything you can do to bring the cast into the reality of the situation makes their job not necessarily easier, because these are people who could act, in a dark room, sitting on a stool with a polo neck or whatever, but putting them in a situation where some of that work is done for them. There are things to react to, things to play off. Being at the real Institute for Advanced Study with Robert Downey Jr. and Cillian Murphy, being in Einstein's office there, out in the desert, in the night, with our reconstruction of the Tower of Trinity, waiting for this explosion to go off, putting people there in real situations, it gives them more to work with, and they can give the film more.
I was lucky enough to see it on a huge IMAX screen. I mean, it has been said before, but it would be interesting to hear why this movie in particular for you was something that you wanted to shoot in IMAX, wanted to tell this story in IMAX.
Well, my director of photography, Hoyte van Hoytema, and myself, we've used IMAX for all kinds of things over the years, but a lot for action. And we knew coming to Oppenheimer that we needed scale. We knew that we needed to take the audience across the desert vistas of New Mexico. We needed the stormy weather coming in. We needed the extremity, the build-up of the Trinity test, the test itself. But we also wanted to experiment with the intimate moments. We wanted to try and take that format and use it as a way to have the screen disappear and just be living in that space with these characters, feeling what they're feeling, experiencing what they're experiencing.
It's an experience like no other. It's such a powerful movie, an immersive movie to watch. I sort of walked out in silence just trying to process what I'd seen. What are you hoping audiences take from their experience of watching this film?
I don't have a specific message to the film. I don't think films should tell people what to think. I think they should give people an experience. It's strange to use a word like entertainment in regard to a very serious subject like this. But if it's engaging, the storytelling, even if it's unsettling at times, as long as it's involving and people are on that journey with it, I think they're going to have quite an experience. And if it leaves them with some troubling questions, unsettling questions, I think that's no bad thing.
It's a thrilling piece of work, and I can't say congratulations enough. Well done, Christopher Nolan, and thank you for talking to us. Ladies and gentlemen, the brilliant Mr. Christopher Nolan!
Thank you.
I'm joined now by the brilliant Kenneth Branagh.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How is it to be here at the London premiere for Oppenheimer?
Fantastic. It's an amazing film and great piece of work from Chris and from Emma. Amazing performances in it, so I'm thrilled to even be a little part of it.
There are amazing performances. Yours is one of them. And what's it like when you get the call? I mean, you've worked with Christopher Nolan before. What was it like getting the call, particularly for this movie?
Simple answer, which was yes. One-word answer. I've worked for him twice before, and they've been great experiences. And like with Dunkirk, I was able here to go to Los Alamos, where the scene with my character, Niels Bohr, that takes place at Christmas, was in the real spot where all of those scientists met during that period of building the bomb. So to be in the real place was eerily authentic.
As you say, Niels Bohr is your character. How do you go about researching a real-life person, or an important person in this movie?
Well, you get some good steers from Christopher Nolan, and then you have to do a bit of your own homework. If you're not a science guy, I'm not a science guy, you have to work harder still to try and understand the reduced version of nuclear physics. But Niels Bohr was an amazing character, somebody who debated with Einstein, somebody that Einstein really admired, and who was a founding figure in the story of atomic physics. So there's plenty to read about and plenty to research, and I got a great kick out of doing both those things.
A lot has been made of the practical work that Christopher Nolan does, but it really is a different experience watching a movie like this, where so much is done in camera, where the sets are real, where everything is real. What's it like for you as an actor? I mean, obviously, it's your third time working on a movie by Nolan.
It's incredibly atmospheric to be in real places, but also to feel the sort of depth of Chris's research, and the feeling that from the moment he's come up with the idea right through to the final execution, there's a sort of level of detail that he employs which few filmmakers are able to sustain. So his energy is incredibly impressive. The biggest thing that I find about working with him is his ability to sort of twist time. So he is in large-scale, spectacular environments, big, huge sets or big real places, but in the middle of it, in conversations one-on-one, in the middle of all that chaos, he can be so quiet and simple. And as an actor, you feel free, you feel trusted, you feel confident, and somebody to work that magic in the middle of the madness that is making a film, that's a unique gift, and it's a great gift to all of us who are lucky enough to be in it.
It's a stunning piece of work, and as fans of Christopher Nolan will know, it does obviously leave you with a lot of questions. For you, what are you hoping audiences take from their experience of watching Oppenheimer?
Well, one, it's that I hope that they really enjoy and are as thrilled as I was by just experiencing it in a cinema. I mean, it's a big cinematic piece, and one of the pieces of wizardry is Christopher's ability to make you experience what the story is about. Now, you know what this story is about, and so you can imagine that in IMAX, you're going to feel that. You're going to be involved in a way that you weren't expecting to, and in a way that only cinema provides at the hands of a master like that. So it's a big screen experience that there's lots of ideas in it, lots of questions to ask, but I think, as Florence was saying earlier, there's quite a bit of feeling that you do afterwards that's just about understanding a little more about how fragile and precarious the human race can be sometimes. This story delves into that in an amazing way.
And it's always a much more enjoyable experience, the communal cinema experience, experiencing a movie like this with other people and knowing that you all have the same questions when you leave the auditorium.
Yeah, I think that to see this with friends, to see it in a crowded IMAX cinema, to see it here tonight, I think is intense in the best possible way. It's something you won't see anywhere else. You won't see it in this way anywhere else, and the way it's presented is fitting for the subject matter it's kind of dealing with. So all the elements have been put together so carefully, really with the idea of serving. It sounds a little trite seeming next to what we've just been talking about, but it's also there to entertain, to compel, and it does that really fantastically well also.
Well, congratulations on your work in the movie, and congratulations on the film.
Thanks very much, Alex. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth Branagh.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Sadly, that is all the time we have from here in London's Leicester Square, but it's been an incredible night. Don't forget, Oppenheimer opens on the 21st of July. Make sure you get your tickets. Make sure you see it on the biggest screen possible. Reese, tell me, have you had a good night?
I've had a really nice night. It was just really cool seeing. I've met some of the cast before. They're all really cool, like Matt Damon, who's walking right there. Big fan of him. He didn't see me. But Florence Pugh, meeting her was awesome, and getting to work with you was really nice.
That's been my highlight, getting to work with you. And also, like you say, it's just an incredible cast in this movie, incredible filmmakers behind it. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece of work. So, as our guests, the filmmakers and the cast take their seats inside the cinema, it's just time for us to leave you with some highlights from tonight's UK premiere of Oppenheimer. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oppenheimer's story is just one of the greatest stories.
This movie as well is a really wonderful feeling. This was truly an epic experience to make and to watch. And
lovely chatting with you.
Thank you.
I know, I love it. Also,
equal as each other, and you are simply there to